Hey, it's Curly, and we've got ourselves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 new trial deck products today. Today's the release of the new startup trial decks. To usher in the new DIVINEZ era, we've got 6 trial decks, 1 for each nation, including Lyrical this time. Each of these includes a couple of cards that we'll get into, but these cards include the new energy generators, which are actually mandatory for competitive tournament use, coming up as soon as they release, actually. Let's jump into these. So what we'll do is we'll go over one of these. First, we'll do the Cristianos one here, because he is, I guess, my favorite, and also we share a very similar name. As I will grab my Monasterio keychain here to open this up. So this includes a couple of things. It's actually also a little bit different from the Japanese version of this product. So we have the old plastic deck box case thing that we got from the Jack Jewel, Leonore, and Youthberg trial decks, which is, alright. These are decent enough. They last a good while. The hinge wears out after a while, but by then presumably you'll have a replacement. So these are kind of decent. They have the decal for each of the nations that they're for. If you go ahead and open it up, you'll see here we have a couple of different products. So we have, of course, the deck here, which has the cards, which we'll go into. We have this cardboard that I actually ripped everything out from, which is kind of nice. Has a little full art here of Cristianos. So we'll see that for each of these, and this is just what goes around. The box here, it is clear otherwise from these, like some of these symbols that it has here. So it has it in the back here, and it can be blurry, but you can see it on the top here. Then there's the deck. Then we've got ourselves the Fighter's coin here. So these are usually not the greatest, in my opinion. These are very small, very thin cardboard sheets that you can use to... In this case, they kept it really simple. It's just 10k power and then crit, probably due to the fact that they're trying to, make these be a very easy starting point for new players. The main one of use is the energy coin. I don't know what you want to call these, but you'll use this with the new energy generator, which I'm assuming is in here. But you can go ahead and pop this out. There we go, and you'll see it is unfortunately the thinnest thing that you've ever seen in your entire life. You can use this to keep track of your energy. The other thing that we have is, of course, the rule book, which is one of these, which just goes over the rules for the new era. It goes ahead and explains a couple of things. Ironically, they use images from the start deck of Overdress, which I guess is fine, aside from the fact that the majority of those cards aren't played. But here they use a bunch of the newer images, and I'm sure they go over energy as well, which is the reason why they need to print a new one of these. Then we've got ourselves the mat, which I'm assuming will not be unique. It'll be the same for all of them, but it'll be this greenish one. We'll go through all of them and take a look. But it's just these sort of informational ones that have just where everything can be placed and so on and so forth. Nothing new. It doesn't... here we go. So crest go up here. So this is a new addition. They've truncated the damage. I feel like before, this whole thing used to be your damage zone, and they've just slowly whittled it down to all the way to this corner, thanks to the set orders being bigger as well. So that's kind of cool. And then finally, the new thing that we have here are these sleeves. So these sleeves are unique to the English version here. Allegedly to, I guess, justify the price of these, because they are a bit of a starter product. $20 is a bit steep, but the sleeves are pretty nice. They're regular Bushido fashioned sleeves, as you can expect. Quality seems decent. Maybe not. There's some here that don't look as nice as you'd like, so they aren't as like uniform and aren't cut as nicely, but that is a bit unfortunate. Hopefully if you guys get your own, it's not the same case. Other than that, at the face value, it looks pretty decent. Nice, you know, quality image of Cristianos here. We're gonna have a random card here that we can go ahead. This is double sleeves, so let's take it out of that penny sleeve and let's put this in here so you can see what it looks like with a card in it. Looks pretty nice. And then finally, we have ourselves here the Cristianos deck. So let's go ahead and open this up. And usually I like to go through card by card. For most cases, I've been sort of cutting back on that to save time in the video, make the videos not too long. But I don't think I'll have a problem with that this time around. So just to be sure, I've had a couple of questions about the trial decks that have been answered so far. So I wanted to take a look at this here. We can take a look at this here. So you can see here, this comes with one pre-constructed deck of 55 cards. We'll see what those 55 cards are. We can scan it if we wanted to. There's the Power Up PR card. So there's 2 extra cards. Usually it's like a pack, but I guess it's not in a pack. It's just loose. Then we've got the play sheet, which is just the playmat, first guide, and then the fighter's coin. So of these 55, I assume it's going to be the new energy generator that we need to use, as well as the energy counter. So I believe those are 2 different things. But let's go ahead and take a look here. As we set Cristianos down here. So this is Cristianos. He is the Marine General of the Great Sea Cristianos. Each of the trial deck bosses will have the same first skill where you can act, counterblast 1, pick up a copy of itself from your deck, add it to your hand. This gets plus 10k. Then they have another skill that is a cost of Energy Blast 4. For Cristianos, it's you discard the top 2 cards of your deck, choose 2 grade 3 or less units from your drop, and call them out to rearguard circle. But this is an act skill. So that's the first question I was wondering. I was wondering how many copies of the normal Cristianos we're going to be getting here. So far we have 2. The reason I say normal, we'll see in a moment, but you'll also notice that a lot of these cards will just not have an effect. I believe only this has an effect. So it's just going to be a bunch of art here that may or may not be used in the future. For example, this girl does actually get an effect version in set 1. This is a reprint from the original trial decks. These guys get effects in set 1. I think this does as well, but as for now, there's just vanillas. Then the PGs do have an effect, but these are the old effect PGs. And then we got ourselves the crits, right? These are the new triggers that you can play that are exclusive to this. So we'll see how expensive some of these are, because I know like the Youth Perk Dragon is pretty expensive. Here's this front that I completely forgot existed until recently, and it looks really pretty. I might not be doing it justice with the camera. That might be a slightly better angle there. Human Trigger is pretty cool. I hate that they have this massive block of text here. And then here is what I meant. So we have copies of Cristianos that actually have these numbers, including all the other cards that we just saw. That's because these are to be used with the training, teaching sessions that Bushiroad is having across the country. That said, you know, you can technically use this. It's just there's 2 different versions of Cristianos now. These are all common cards. There's no foil or anything, but there's just some of them that have a symbol on them. So this is the ride deck. No effects for any of these. And then these are just random cards that they use in order to sort of explain the game to you. So rather than having you read a card, they'll just be like, okay, go look for the one that has the number, you know, 13, etc., right? And you can see that each of the cards has a symbol here, and then we will get to the energy generators soon, right? So we'll put that on the side there. The other thing I wanted to take a look at is we have this crit, we have this draw, this heal, and this front. We have 2 of these apparently, so we actually only get 3, I guess, of each of these triggers in the deck, or for the draws, you only get 2 of them that don't have the symbol, whereas like one of them will have the symbol. So that's kind of interesting. So if you don't like the symbol ones, you're gonna have to buy an extra copy if you want to play 4 copies. If you do like the symbol ones, you're gonna be in a bit of a pickle, because you have to find a bunch of extra copies for that. So that answers that. And then likewise for the bosses, you get yourself 2 of the regular bosses, and then 2 of them that have numbers, 2 of them being completely different numbers. So we technically have ourselves 3 versions of Cristianos. Look at that. Cristianos has 3 versions before Barrow even has a second. Love to see it. So that answers that question. That should be the same throughout all of the boxes. We'll open each of them, but I want to go into detail with one of them, and we'll kind of just skim through the rest of them. Then we have ourselves here the energy generator. So this is required for every game, every competitive, legal, tournament legal game that you go to. You need an energy generator, and you need either this energy counter or you need energy cards, which are released in set 1. So these are just Vanguard cards with Vanguard card back. I always thought that it would have been smart of them to just have this be one card that you flip over, similar to like the Excel 1 and Excel 2 cards that they have, but that is not the case. I guess part of the reason they don't do that is because you have to put the little coin that I've already lost. I had it here somewhere, and I've already lost it, which is a bit unfortunate. But you have to put the little coin here. Ah, here it is. Here to keep track of your energy, and they decided to do it this like sort of style instead of just having it flat out. So you just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which is fine. But then like if I were to have it here and I'm just like, wait, what do I do? I would have to like flip over and then lose my place, which I kind of get, but it just would have been easier if it was just attached to one. But essentially you just set these and you use this to get your energy. And then if not, you don't use this, you just put the cards on top of it as they do in the anime, and you use the cards to keep track of your energy. But this is the energy generator, which is going to be a ride deck crest that you generate and put in your ride deck. You get it as soon as you ride for the first time. You put this into the crest zone. Then if you go second, you get an extra 3 energy. You can only have up to 10 energy. At the beginning of your ride phase, you get 3 energy, and then you can energy blast 7 to draw a single card. So unfortunately, that is an effect that these bosses will not be able to use due to the fact that they need Energy Blast 4 for all their skills. Then finally, we have ourselves 2 PR cards. So one of these should be a effect trigger, and one of these will either be a PG from set 1, it'll be an effect PG, or it'll be an Elementaria, which would be really sick to get. So let's see what the first one is here. It is actually a PG from set 1, so no Elementaria. And then our effect trigger here is going to end up being a front trigger. All right, it's going to be the Frenzied Harius. Very nice. I believe the pull rate for the Elementaria is actually really low, but it is kind of nice to get a sneak peek at the new effect PGs if you'd like. And, you know, I'm sure it has some nice implications and stuff like, you know, some of the Highlander decks. You got an extra peek at those. But that'll do it for the Cristianos deck. We'll go through all of the other decks a bit quicker, just to sort of highlight the differences between them, but I expect it to be all the same, where it's just 2, an energy generator, energy counter, either Elementaria or a new PG from set 1, an effect trigger, 2 copies of the boss with a number, 2 copies without, 2 copies of the draw trigger, 2 copies with the number, 3 of the front, 1 with a number, 3 of the heal, 1 with the number, 3 of the crit, 1 with a number, and then a bunch of vanilla cards, some with or without numbers. With Cristianos out of the way here, let's go ahead and pierce into our Triumph Dragon. Here, he's going to be the next one. As you can expect, it is relatively the same affair, where we got the clamp here, little clamp shell deck box that's made out of plastic. Got ourselves the cards here, the nice little full art on the plastic, the fighter's coin, as well as the rulebook stuff and the mat. And then we got ourselves the sleeves here, which are, you know, pretty decent. I don't really like this brownish color. Honestly, it looks a lot more brown than red. And then take a look at the rest of the sleeves real quick. How they cut up. Not the greatest, again. Unfortunately, you can see a little bit of discrepancy between all these. I feel like that's something that judges might ding you on, but I could be wrong. This side looks a lot cleaner. That does it for the sleeves, then let's go ahead and take a look at the deck. The bat is exactly the same. They didn't do like nation colors or anything like that. Then the deck here, come apart. There we go. This here is a Triumph Dragon. So this has the same first skill, search a copy of itself, get 10k, but it also says when it attacks a Vanguard, Energy Blast 4, choose one of your opponent's rear guards to retire it, and this unit gets an additional 5k and a critical to the end of that battle specifically. So same ordeal here, we got ourselves 2 copies of Triumph Dragon, a bunch of vanillas, this is a new critical trigger, only 2 of them? Oh no, 3 of them, 2 of the drum, 3 of the front, 3 of the heel, and then we got ourselves the copies of it with the numbers as expected. So here's just the art really quickly if you wanted to take a glance at that. Some of these get reprinted as set 1 with actual effects. Some of these will not, at least for now, and some of these are just from previous trial decks and products that have been released in the span of Overdress here. So much the same like the Cristiano's deck, same ratios, what have you. And the last one I think is another, nope, it is that. Cool. Then we got ourselves our 2 mysterious cards, as well as the energy generator here. Let's take a look, see what we get. From the first one, it is going to be, ooh, cool, the Burning Flail Dragon. That's always nice to have. And then Elementaria. Let's go. Got ourselves an extra copy of Elementaria. Next up, we've got ourselves here for Dark States. This one's a bit difficult for me to say. I think it's like Oslergeist or something like that. But same old deck, box design, and I'm just clouding up my desk over here. Same old for these. We got these sleeves here. These do not look as good as I was hoping. They looked a little bit better in the camera. The dark blue is a lot darker. In person, at least for me. Might be all the lights that I'm using. These actually look a lot nicer, so the quality does seem to vary between them. Let's check the other side. It's a little rough, a little bit, but this is the best quality. We already got a bent corner there, but alright, whatever. These have been the best quality in terms of just sides and stuff. But, the colors are right. I didn't realize this until now, but they did this cool thing here with the, I don't know what you guys call these. I forgot what I used to call these, but these, like sleeve baggies, where if they're sealed, they'll be sealed. It'll be a white line, but as soon as you open it, it'll say that it's been opened. So these are resold. For the deck, it's going to be much of the same affair as expected. Got ourselves a Cruel Beast Demonic Lord Oslergeist here. Counterblast 1, check the copy of itself, get 10k. And then when it attacks the Vanguard, Energy Blast 4, choose a grade 3 or less from your soul and call it to rear, and it gets plus 10k to the end of that turn. So as expected, 2 of those, some vanilla grade 3, some vanilla grade 2 that gets an effect in set 1, a vanilla grade 2 that gets an effect in set 1. This is Icicle Iron Izer, which has always been a vanilla. Cyan Konamato, I believe, gets an effect. Keen Prodigy, I believe, also gets an effect. This is an older card. We got ourselves the trial deck cards here, and then we got ourselves the most important part here, the Direful Doll Bethany, because you can actually use this in your Direful Doll, or actually I don't think he has Direful Doll, it might be Direful Doll Master Andal, but the new deck for Dark States in Divine Set 1. I got 3 of those, 2 of the heel draws, 3 of the fronts, and then also 3 of the heels without the number. And then we got ourselves, the usual affair here, where we have the numbered versions that they use for the instructional portion. There. Then we got ourselves here our energy generator, energy counter, and let's see what we get this time. Got ourselves, ooh, wow, Row's Wild Master Rowley, love me her, and it's going to be the new effect PG for set 1, the Lyrical Disruptor. Very beautiful card. Nice. Alright, halfway through here, we're going to go into next for Brandt. We'll go into Astrum, one of the deck that, based on the design, I feel the people were the most excited about, and once it was revealed, they had the quickest, like, between that and Cristianos, it was the most, like, no longer excited about it. Same old deal here, we got ourselves these sleeves, so this is what I was talking about. It's, you know, clear, white, and then as soon as you open it here, it says opened, so you know that it's been opened, which is pretty cool. Not gonna lie, pretty cool. Do a quick quality test here on these sides. Yeah, these are pretty decent, actually. Yeah, I don't know what it is about the other two that looked kind of jagged and rough. The sleeve itself is a nice color. It looks pretty cool, actually. This might be my favorite sleeve design out of all of them, to be honest. Then we got ourselves here the deck. This is the Blitz Giga Mobile Astrum. So this is a Vanguard that has Blitz in its name for Brandt game, but as of right now, it does not really matter because the support card for Welstra asks for Welstra specifically. But this has the same effect to search itself. Then it says when this attacks a Vanguard, Energy Blast 4, choose one of your rear guards, stand it, and until the end of the turn, this unit gets 5. That unit and this unit get an additional 5k power, which is pretty decent. We got ourselves the usual affair. Kind of sucks. I really like the art on this girl, but she is not super useful. This is a reprint from the start deck. I don't know what this does, to be honest. That might be a new card. I believe that's a new card, as is this. Then we got ourselves the Craggly Monster PG. That actually says Monster, because that used to be misprinted to say Mutant. But then we got ourselves the Blitz Pilot Jacket here. Super cool new crit for Brandt. We got ourselves a super cool looking draw trigger Blitz Designer Guide here. Unfortunately, only 2 of those, and he is the draw trigger. You probably won't end up using that. And then we got these super cute little squirrel here, Blitz Doctor Get Sound, which is cool. And then we got ourselves the usual affair here, the Ride Deck. Ride Deck actually has no effect, even the grade 0, by the way, which is kind of funny. If you didn't want to draw cards going second, that's you got a starter you can use for that, I guess. Then we got ourselves the usual affair here. Got ourselves our energy generator here. Just so you know, these do have a set notation down here. So when you put this in your deck log for tournaments, make sure you actually put in the right one, because this is actually from Trial Deck 3. Whether or not that makes a huge difference, probably not, but you never know. Let's see what our 2 cards are going to be here. We got ourselves a draw trigger, the Armorate Connector. And for the PG, it's going to be the new Brandt PG, the Strong Arm Conversion Struggle of Mars here. Not bad. Then we've got ourselves the second to last one here. Probably the strongest one, and maybe the one that's gets its coattails instantly replaced. We got ourselves Star Strazavels, but essentially discount Raziel, because Raziel does everything this deck wants to do, but it's better and is better supported. Unfortunately, it even probably has better sleeves, because these look a little piss colored, to be honest. I mean, it's not horrible. I don't dislike it, but yeah, that's these sleeves. Let's do a quick test here. Wow, these look perfect, actually. This is probably the best one I've seen from these 5. I don't know why the 2 that I opened up first were the crappier ones. So, you know, that's pretty good. I think it was Triumph Dragon and Cristianos that didn't look the greatest. So if the last one looks good, that means a success rate of, you know, 4 out of 6. Pretty good odds. Got ourselves Salvation Wing Angel Sarvesele. When this unit attacks a Vanguard Energy Blast 4, choose a grade 3 or less normal unit from your drop, call it to rear, and it gets 10k power to the end of the turn. So pretty cool. Everyone was expecting this to have some sort of angel feather effect, myself included, but it does not. Neither does Raziel, and neither does Liel, but alright. we got ourselves, again, usual mix of cards that are vanilla, that will remain vanilla or will be reprinted in set 1 with an effect. Got the effect triggers, we got the new critical trigger here, as well as the new draw trigger here, the new front trigger here, and then the new heal trigger here. Bringer of distance sounds. Pretty cool. And then it's going to be the same affair here with the rest of the deck. Got ourselves the numbered cards. And last but not least, we got ourselves the energy generator and the crest. Or the counter, I should say. Finally, we're going to get ourselves another draw trigger. Protection Magic Prohibibi. Pretty cool, considering the draw triggers are used the most, I think, out of all the effect triggers. And then finally, we're going to get ourselves not an Elementar, but Bringer of Protection Sethalan here, which is the new PG for Keter Sanctuary. And then we got ourselves the last one here, which is for Lyrical Monasterio, Marlene. I do not super like Marlene, but her colors are basically this channel's colors, so I am obligated to like her, at least to some extent. So, you know, standard fare here, nothing new. And we got ourselves these sleeves, which are a darker hot pink than I was hoping for, to be honest. They look alright. I would rather them be a little bit more bright if it were me, but it looks pretty good, Alright, and let's just take a look here, see if it's a 50-50. It looks like a 50-50. That doesn't look as bad. You know, I guess maybe it's not 50-50, maybe it is. Yeah, these look okay. I don't know what happened to this here. You guys can see that kind of stands out. So your call, whether it's 50-50 or not. And let's go ahead and open up last deck here. Got ourselves Love Call Marlene here. So she says, when a scene attacks a Vanguard, Energy Blast 4, choose one of your regards, return it to your hand. Choose up to one grade 3 or less unit from your hand and call it to an open regard circle. That unit gets 10k power. So we got ourselves copies of her, the vanillas here, some of which get reprinted in set 1 with effects. Some of these always had no effect to begin with. Some of these had effect in other sets, but now they don't, or other trial decks. PGs here, we got the new critical trigger, the Careful Sunshine Wallace here, adorable, she has a little bird on her head. My favorite of these is this draw trigger. I actually follow the artist that drew this before, you know, she drew this, so it was kind of like, whoa, that's crazy. I kind of recognized it. I was like, wow, that looks so good. I wonder where it's, like, why does it look so familiar? But so the front trigger here looks super cool, and then the heel trigger also looks pretty cool. Talking of our Tanmoose here, and then we got ourselves the rest of the cards, which have the numbering on them here. In the same ratios as we discussed for Cristianos. And ourselves our 2 energy generator and counter. And then finally, our last promo cards will be not the draw trigger, but the front, which sucks because I would have actually liked the draw trigger for this. But we got ourselves Snow Skip Palvi, which is nice to have. These need to be desperately reprinted. And then finally, not Elementaria, but that is fine because this girl is really cool looking. Best Served Hot Warmenia here. Super cool looking PG for Lyrical here, Divine Set 1. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed this opening of the new Divines Trial decks. If you have any questions about any of these, you know, product-wise specifically, let me know in the comments down below. Hopefully I went through them in as much detail as possible, and you guys can go ahead and enjoy these. But in any case, till next time, take care of yourselves and each other, play Vanguard, and have yourselves a damn good one.